Hey y'all, this is Sky Juice coming to you live and direct from the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. And this is my living in Puerto Rico um, video log that I am doing. This is all new and fresh. And I just wanted to give you an update on the Zika virus, at least from my perception. I haven't seen nobody with Zika, not a soul. And what I'm comparing it to is about 2 or 3 years ago, the whole entire Caribbean had another mosquito outbreak called chikungunya. And everybody that I knew, like more people had it than didn't have it. I got it, neighbors got it, across the street, friends, people, everyone was like smacked down with this terrible virus. Chikungunya is, from a particular type of mosquito, and it gives you the feel that you have like an arthritis. So all your joints, your muscles, mostly like all in my ankles and in my wrists were like completely like hardened. Like I couldn't move, I couldn't open a jar of anything. It was really bad. I was in pain for at least 2 weeks. I know a lot of people suffered longer. Hospitals couldn't do anything for you. They were basically giving you pain meds, sending you home, but they were at least recording the numbers of people that were coming in with it. I didn't go to the hospital because I'm not sitting there for them to tell me nothing. But some people suffered longer than 2 weeks. Some people suffered for like a month or two. But that was an epidemic. I mean, that was really like crazy. They were walking around the communities, the neighborhoods, making sure that you didn't have any sitting water in the back of your house. They were passing out pamphlets and leaflets on chikungunya and what to do and what happens and what's going on. And this is what the mosquito looked like. The mosquito looked like it had like stripes on it or something crazy. But anyway, to me, that was an epidemic. They had also trucks driving through the neighborhoods, spraying mosquito spray, toxic fumes in a puff of clouds, driving all throughout the areas. Yeah, that was a national emergency for Puerto Rico. Zika ain't had nothing going on like that. Not a truck driving by. No one's knocking on your doors telling you to turn your water pans over. No one is sick. Not one person in no. I haven't heard of anyone. Like, have you heard such and such got the virus? Not one, not a soul. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm saying that there's news that came out that Puerto Rico was in an emergency crisis with the Zika virus. False, okay? A couple years ago, yes. This is my perception on why that has happened, and I believe it has to do with the fact that Puerto Rico has this economic crisis. So when you, as a nation, as a country that gets their funds from the US colony, says to your I don't want to say master, says to the US, hey, you guys, we have a Zika virus where it's chaos down here, everyone's getting sick. FEMA jumps in, CDS, Center for Disease Control, they start, the only thing they're going to do is send some loot. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll send a few people to do some, check, do a little walk through the communities and, whatever. I don't know what they do. I'm just saying, and this is my perception of what's going on, is I just think it's Puerto Rico's way of saying, hey, y'all, we need some money. We need more money. We got this bill, and we're going to get money any kind of way we can get it. And that's what I think happened. So the problem with that is everybody who relies on tourism, this happened as soon as winter season happened. And what happens is winter season is high season for us. That's when folks make the most of their money for the whole year. So what happens is we don't have the winter season. We didn't get the numbers that we normally get. Everyone in tourism, from the hotels, the restaurants, the little gift stores, the tour operators, and everything in between, some of the restaurants that cater to stateside, etc., or just foreigners in general, um, kept complained that this news that went out about Zika being a threat to Puerto Rico made people stop coming. So people started going other places. So funny thing is, a girlfriend of mine from college called me and said, no, she didn't call me, she messaged me. But anyway, she said, oh, Sky, we were going to go to Puerto Rico, but we heard about Zika, so we went to the Virgin Islands instead. The Virgin Islands is one block over that way, and do you think the Zika virus mosquito couldn't fly over to one island? If it's all the way in Brazil and all the way up in the US, you think it's going to skip over one island, the Virgin Islands? Anyway, um, it's called marketing. So if they market false information, that's what the people are going to go with. People are not going to think deeper. They're not going to go and investigate and look up other articles. So I've seen a few good campaigns online of people trying to promote the fact that there is no Zika here. And when I say no, I'm going to be careful with my words and say not much. Nothing to be afraid of, okay? So, if you guys are still trying to come to Puerto Rico, come anyway. Everything is here. People are doing wonderful. But the Zika threat, I just think it's false. You know, if there are people who are on the island who've gotten Zika, then I'm sorry, and I'm not grateful for that, of course. But my message is it's not an epidemic. The funny thing about this whole Zika thing is as soon as someone sneezes or they like, oh, I got a cold. Oh, you got Zika? Do you have Zika? You think it's Zika? And it's not. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.